Hey drivers, are you thinking about becoming a lease operator? Well, NCI is leasing out 1 to 2 year old Kenworth T680 double bunk condo tractors, fully loaded with APU and fridge. Plus, the company is owned by their own product. That's right, they deliver mainly their own freight, which means your business will be thriving for a long time to come. 844-311-7076. That's 844-311-7076. And tell them TalkCDL sent you. Please, thank you. Hey truck drivers, I want to talk to you real quick about an invention that was invented by a trucker for truckers. It's a tool called Magnus Stop. Basically, if you want to slide your axles hassle-free without needing any help, it's a little 4x5-inch tool. It utilizes a pin and a magnet. Crazy simple. I'm surprised nobody ever invented it before. Anyways, you merely stop, get out, pull your pin, put your Magnus Stop device in the hole right beside the hole you want it to stop at. Then you either pull forward or you back up. Magnus Stop stops you exactly where you need to be stopped every single time. It's durable. It's very affordable. It's $49.95. If you mention TalkCDL online in the promo code, you get $10 off. So it's now only $39.95 for TalkCDL viewers, which is an awesome, awesome deal. Magnus Stop is the tool you need today, and you can get it at magnastop.online. That's MAGNASTOP.online. Check it out and let us know here at TalkCDL how that product is working out for you. Thank you. Oh, and it's also free shipping and handling. It doesn't get any better than that. Thank you very much. Enjoy the show. TalkCDL. 1, 2, 3. Hey, babe.
Sometimes I think you, and I can't even blame that you like drank something or anything like that because you're just sitting here. You have no like Coke around you or
Coke like
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola, yeah. Make sure you tell them Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Not cocaine, Coca-Cola. But no, that's just me. I'm just a natural go 1,000 miles an hour until the end of the night, and then you find me sleeping somewhere in a corner. That's just me.
That was Hunter.
Yeah, well, see, like daddy, like daughter. Yeah, it's true. All right. So, anyways, you've been itching to talk about, what is it, Ruth Ann?
Human trafficking.
Human trafficking, and what a big topic in the industry. And I know you're going to bring in Alabama, doing great things in the state of Alabama for human trafficking. You're going to bring that in. But just want to say that human trafficking, I just watched a movie. It's on Netflix. I forget what it's called. And you don't realize how horrible human trafficking is, not just in the trucking industry, but everywhere. You don't even realize your wife or your daughter going to the grocery store could become a target. You don't know who's following you. I'm telling you, it's something that we all need to be mindful of, because let me tell you what the human traffickers, and I'm going to let you take over. Let me tell you what the human traffickers care about. They care about the money. They don't really care about what they're doing to your child. That there's 5 people coming in to have sex with your child that's doped up in a corner, a day, and being raped. They don't care about that. All they care about is that big fistful of cash they're getting. And a lot of people that have gone through it. The movie was about a woman that was actually a yoga instructor. She was, I forget, she was some kind of professional. This was a woman that was a very good mother, not even out doing bad things, met the wrong guy in a coffee shop that was genuinely, he sounded genuine and encouraged her to go to a photo shoot. And as soon as she got there, she was not seen again for quite a while she was being raped and put into a different building.
3 days.
It was 3 days. But some of them go missing for a year.
Years.
Yeah.
No, this is, and they don't have a discrepancy against your age.
It don't matter your gender. You could be a little girl, a little boy. You could be
and you can be older.
You can be older, but it's not usually.
Human trafficking is not just on sex trafficking. Human trafficking is a slavery, period. If you're an older, like just say my mom, right? They would, if they could kidnap her, they would not want to have sex with her, but they would use her for other forms of slavery.
They'd give her back once she started talking.
Oh my gosh.
They would. I'm telling you.
But the point is they would use them for other things, like taking care of these kids. My mom's a nurse. So they could end up saying, okay, well, we got someone in the medical field. They could treat them for the
But most of the time it is sex.
Most of the time, yeah, it is.
90% of it is really sexual. Taking an old person and making them work for you is kind of dumb. Half of them can't work that much anymore anyways. And I do love your mother. You know that. So say that out loud in case she hears the pod. Mm-hmm. All right, good. So what do you got?
All right. So a lot of people don't realize that the different laws that have come up for human trafficking. There's one that it all kind of stemmed from, and it's Human Trafficking Prevention Act, which is a Prevention Act of Trafficking Victims Protection Act of 2000. It started in 2014 when it really became more publicly known. And they've been trying to get a cap on it and try and bring more people in for its awareness. And that's where TAC came into effect and some of the other places that came into effect for helping with these type of situations. And I wanted to bring it out that this act came out in 2014 versus it's not new.
Right, but it's like any other subject. You start hearing about it, and you don't realize how serious it is until people start going, wow, it's happening here. Wow, it's happening there. Because the sex trafficking thing, let me tell you what happens where a lot of the victims come from. Homeless people and broken homes. Look, let's be honest. I'll bet you didn't even think about this. Our 12-year-old daughter, last year, what did you catch her doing? We caught our little 11-year-old precious little girl, our daughter, TalkCDL's daughter, in her bedroom on the internet with some son of a bitch, asshole, 30-some-year-old dickhead trying to woo her away out of Maryland. We got the police involved. We never even told people about this. Talking to her online at night, and you got some of the transcripts of some of the dirty shit he was saying.
He was sending her anime porn.
He was sending her porn. This is our 11-year-old. I was like, how?
And it was from Instagram.
And you think to yourself, you don't think for a second that you think, oh, that happens to somebody else. Bullshit. And I'm sorry for how much cursing I'm doing right now, but when I think about our little daughter, I'm not even going to say her name, okay? Because if I could have got my hand on this guy, and they sent police to that guy's door, this was a total piece of crap.
See, what happened is, we thought we'd let her have an Instagram account because her friends did. Unfortunately, well, not fortunately, I had it on private, and that's perfectly fine. When you want to, when you have your kids evolved, they can socialize with one another that way. Because they're private account, when another friend wants to quote find them and it's private, they can't. So they have to put their account public for the friend to find them, and then they'd have to move it back to private. Our daughter did not do that. She didn't. Whoever set it up for her, whoever was trying to find her, did not put her account back to a private account. So it went publicly. And that's when this skank decided to kind of attack our kid.
Yeah, well, and moms and dads out there listen to this, and grandparents, just through Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, any social media, YouTube, anything that these kids are capable of being in a little message dialogue where someone can say, hello there. They have her or him. You don't realize how much you really need to monitor your kids because, oh my gosh, this piece of crap had been finding out where she lived.
He tried
to find out where I'm so glad that Ruth Ann walked in and grabbed her iPad off of her and seen all this. And, at 11 years old, they're so innocent. They don't realize that some 30-some-year-old guy is not being your friend. If you're a 30-some-year-old guy and you want to talk to little kids, I wish I could talk to you because I would castrate your ass, and I mean it. Anybody that's listening to this podcast that has anything to do with human trafficking and any little kids, if you're a kid, any kind of a pervert to where you hate kids, I wish you would unfriend us. I don't need you. I don't want you in my life in any way. At zero tolerance for that. And if you are somebody that recognizes you have a problem, okay, people have problems. I understand that. If you are a person that's getting help, then good for you. Good for you, because you cannot live life like that. You are definitely a social outcast. You do not belong in the human race if your intentions are to do anything to a little kid. Anything. If you have any feeling of you want to have conversations with little kids, you might want to question why you would even want to. Okay? That's sick. Very sick. Human trafficking. Ruth Ann, there was a trucker. It happened in Virginia. We had a video of it. This trucker actually seen a girl sticking her hand out the back of a camper at a truck stop. I don't know if you remember it.
Yeah, that's what started bringing the limelight out, because people weren't noticing it near as much, and that's one of the things that really brought it into a larger view for the industry, because he's seen it. Now, I'm going to tell you, I was on a website, and because I've been reviewing, trying to find more information about all of it. Quick, just giving a few things before I get too far into it. Like I said, in 2014 is when the Trafficking Victims Protection Act came into effect, and a lot of it started getting into it. There is 55 bills right now in the government that are trying to get passed for different things to deal with human trafficking and protection of those, anything that deals with it, human rights and the different, anything that deals with that. There's 55 of them. Some of them are only like 3% into progress. Some of them have now passed. Some of them are, almost there. And I just thought I'd bring that part up. But when it comes to what they're trying to do, as far as it was passed last year, or it was brought, and it's taken in effect now. Anybody that has a CDL has to do some type of training.
In Alabama?
No, nationwide.
What do you mean nationwide?
Nationwide.
I thought it was an Alabama thing.
It's nationwide that when you go to renew your license, they want you to see a video and know what to look for human trafficking.
I haven't heard that.
Well, if you'd shut up long enough, you might hear some of it from me.
Go ahead. It's all passionate today.
No, I'm just trying.
Troy. I've taken over.
You have taken over, and I'm trying to pull it back. No, it's nationwide. It's been a bill that's been passed. It started Texas last year. The one of the representatives in Texas realized how bad it was, so she put into effect that there's a lot that had to be done with it. And 2019 is when a lot of them now are taking more of effect on doing this. But truthfully, there's 11 states right now that require you to do, like, where the school itself teaches it. Ohio was the first one, but Ohio is one of the largest human trafficking states in the nation. So Ohio, Illinois, Texas, Alabama, Wisconsin, Kansas, Colorado, South Carolina, Arkansas, Kentucky, and Oklahoma are the 11 states that have schools that teach it when you're doing your CDL.
Okay. Oh, okay. So when you're getting your CDL, that's incorporated into getting your CDL. But now, what about for drivers that I've already had it? And
you're renewing your license now, I'm trying to finish up with that. When you're renewing your CDL, when you go to get your CDL renewed, they want you now in all of the states to do a course.
Is it a law? That's what I want to know.
As far as I've read, yes.
Okay, because I've not seen a big report where now when you go to renew your CDL, you have to have a video or a course. And don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with it personally. I think everybody should be made aware of it. 100%. I think that. I know you're Googling it right now, so we should make sure. Absolutely. But if it's not a requirement, it probably will be soon. Only because, and look, rightfully so, truckers are the ones that are out there traveling the roads more than everybody. We put 500-600 miles a day on in our tractor trailers, and we see things. And this is one of the things I know California and Tennessee, they have programs where the police actually get with truck drivers and show them how to spot it. And one of the things is, you're driving down the road, you may look inside of a car and you may see somebody kind of give you a look like, help. And, you may just kind of look at it like, and blow it off like it's really nothing. But believe it or not, there have been lives saved and lives lost because somebody just ignored the sign of maybe somebody that's in a car that shouldn't be in that car. And as truck drivers, we cover miles and miles and miles every day, and we all do need to get together and help combat this crime. This is a human crime, and we're all human beings. We need to be band together in something like this. This is how we can make our country and our communities and the trucking industry look good and be better. Ruth Ann, you got something?
Yeah, well, I was gonna bring up with where you were saying where it was. It was Virginia, and it was Kevin Kimmel was the name of the trucker that seen the little girl in the camper that the people that had her actually got 40 years in prison for it.
Good for them. They should have got more.
But it was basically that he had seen this little girl playing, like not playing, but doing it with the RV, and then he had seen a person come up and knock on the RV door. Then he's seen that the RV motion, like rocking back and forth. And when the cops finally arrived, they were taking out a battered-looking young girl out of the RV, and then an older man and woman in handcuffs. And what they did is they lured the girl away in Iowa, where she lived, held her for months, where she was tortured in the RV and forced to have sex with men that the couple found online and at truck stops.
Yeah, and that's exactly how human trafficking, and that's just a small scale of human trafficking. I'm going to tell you something. What used to be the pimp...
And that was in 2015, by the way.
Right. I knew it was a few years ago. Mm-hmm. What used to be considered the pimps that were the prostitute managers, a lot of those guys have gotten into human trafficking. Mm-hmm. Okay? They were so good at control. And again, I'll go back to it. A lot of these guys target runaways, girls that are living on the streets. So therefore, this is why this had gone on, Ruth Ann, for so long unnoticed by millions before somebody finally started saying that, listen, there is a such thing as human trafficking. Some of these kids, and the reason that it went unnoticed for a long time is because it really started with your runaways. People that were just out there that ran from a broken home where the mom and dad didn't give a flying rat's ass about that kid. And their reaction was, yeah, I knew she'd run away someday. She was just brazen. Well, it would come from maybe a alcoholic, broken family where there was just nothing there at all. The kid ran away one day, had nothing else to do, couldn't survive, ended up meeting a pimp. Because when you go on the streets, you're going to meet only the bad people. You're not really going to meet a lot of good people out there on the streets, especially at night. Okay? So the ones that you meet are going to take advantage of you. And this is why it went unnoticed. But then, I've seen stories where, like you just read, and I seen a story where in Massachusetts, a woman went on a blind date. And when she met her blind date, she met him online. He drugged her. He literally drugged her. Mm-hmm. And then what they do is they move you. They move you from somebody else. In fact, what he did was he met her at a friend's house. He met her at somebody else's house. He slipped something into her drink. Next thing you know, a month later, she realizes she's in a different town, in a different apartment, in a one mattress room, having sex with guys every day. This guy's collecting money off of her. And he kept her, and he made her an addict, too. And she wasn't even a person that ran away. And this is how it started getting recognized by people that were not runaways. They started people that, and I hate to say this, I don't mean to be sounding cruel towards the people that are runaways, but people that had people caring about them, that's when it started really getting noticed. And so now they coined the phrase human trafficking, and the trucking industry plays such a big part in a lot of things out there on the road. And again, I'm going to go back to it. Guys, go online, look at the videos. Truckers Against Trafficking is getting bigger. And go on Truckers Against Trafficking on their Facebook page and like them and follow them and stay informed. And guys, I'm going to tell you something. There is never a bad time to see something that you think is suspicious in the RV or the car beside you passing you. You see somebody fighting or grabbing onto somebody in a car, or somebody that motions something to you. There's nothing wrong with dialing 911 and just saying, hey, I'm just letting you do a well check on a car that's on Interstate 95 mile marker, blah, blah, blah. It looked like a child was a little in trouble there, and I just was reporting this. Here's their license plate. I don't know. It could be nothing. But now you let the authorities take over from there when it comes to making the decision. Should we go ahead and send a patrol unit out there and at least pull them over and do a well check? Hey, we wanted to make sure someone called in a complaint about a struggle in the car, or someone held up a piece of paper, help me, whatever the case is. Guys, don't turn a blind eye to something you think might be bad, especially when it comes to a child. Ruthann?
I'll find that link that I seen that states that it's, nationwide.
Yeah, and if it's mandatory that you got to watch a video, I don't have a problem with that. I just hadn't heard it, so I just want to confirm it. And it sounds like a great idea. Make people, awareness is a big thing. A lot of people are not aware. I was not all that attentive to this back in 15 and 16 when I started first hearing about human trafficking. I never heard of it before. It's like, okay, where's all this going on at? It mustn't be as big as they're saying, blah, blah, blah. And then when you really start seeing what's going on, it's bigger than you think it is. It could be going on in your nice neighborhood right next door to you. You just don't know.
Yeah, it is very big. Now, TAT offers, there's a bunch of...
Truckers Against Trafficking?
Yeah.
TAT.
There's a bunch of, like I said, the 11 states that require I'm sorry, my throat was getting dry.
That's right.
A bunch of companies that are 11 states now require, when you're going for your CDL, to get the training at that point. And then there's ones that are, when they're renewing their CDL, they have to show that they've gone through some kind of training. What they're trying to do is get it to where it's one of the articles I was reading, but it was an older article stating, it was from 2017, that it's mandatory that you do this. And there's a bunch of drivers that were arguing about it. Why should we have to be mandatory on this? Drivers know what to look for, all this different stuff. But in 2017, if that was the case, then we wouldn't have such a big thing about it, because drivers are getting more involved now and they're realizing it more. I was actually offended by some of those drivers that were saying, oh, why should we have to? We do enough by holding the steering wheel. We do enough by doing this. But that's not what the case is. That's not what they were trying to say.
Police your area. Get involved. Get involved. Who wants... Hey, look, never mind. I was going to tell them a story about what's going on in our neighborhood. Maybe we should. And we're all involved.
Well, what got me mad with this is they were sitting there acting like that. But if it was someone you knew, your niece, your anybody at all in your family, you would be so furious with someone that didn't report it because they didn't think anything big of it.
That's a good point. For all you people out there that think, I'm already driving, I don't have time to be looking around. You know what? You absolutely, as a human being, should feel compelled to open your eyes when you're going down the road and get involved. You can remain anonymous when you make a phone call. You can dial star 67 if you don't want your number to come up even at the 911 center. And guess what, guys and gals? Like Ruth Ann just said, if it was your kid that was kidnapped, all right, and there was 20 truckers interviewed on that interstate where you knew it was kidnapped, and every one of them said, I don't get involved in that crap, you would hit the freaking ceiling. So, yeah. What's everything?
I said, yeah.
Absolutely. Good point, Ruth Ann. So listen, guys and gals, these are our kids. These are our nephews and nieces. These are our friends' kids. These are our grandchildren. These are little human lives that are in danger of scumbags.
Well, it hit us. It hit us personally. For all we know, that person that was trying to lure our daughter away could have been someone that was involved in that. I walked in when he was asking her where she lived, and she says Florida. She didn't give specifics. Then he actually wanted to ask her clothing sizes so he could, quote, send her gifts.
And what's funny is in that movie we seen, the guy wanted to know her clothing size because he wanted to go out and buy little skimpy things for the Johns when the Johns came in to see her. Remember that? Mm-hmm. That's a sign of a human trafficker. And listen, if not for the reason of protecting the little kids, my other reason for wanting to get involved is to catch a scumbag. I can't stand perverts.
The new show, Catch a Scumbag.
Catch a Scumbag, man. I get pleasure when a scumbag gets brought down. So believe me when I say this, if you don't want to do it because you have compassion for the little ones, do it for the hate of some piece of garbage that thinks that, just taking a little kid and treating him like they're yesterday's garbage. Mm-hmm. Do it for that reason, to take these pieces of crap off the street. Ruth Ann, you got any more stuff on human trafficking? We could talk about this all day.
There's another website called sharedhope.org that you can go to that gives more information on it. So aside from TAT, you can do that. TAT offers a video. It's a 26-minute video that they offer for the trucking industry. If you to do maybe, let's say, safety directors, they can do the 26-minute video while they're doing your orientation stuff. Different information that you can do to help get you a little bit more aware of it and bring you more into it, as far as getting all the help that you need to recognize it, because sometimes you might not notice certain things. Also, I would suggest maybe on your phone putting their 800 number for the National Human Trafficking Hotline, which is 888-373-7888. You can put that in your phone. They also have a text number, but if you put it as a contact, if you do see anything, all you have to do is hit it then. You don't have to look up a number. Just hit the number, report what you're seeing. If anything, it could be checked out. What's it going to hurt? Someone check it out and not be anything? It just be a bunch of kids doing something they shouldn't have been doing in a parking lot, or you could have saved someone's life.
The other thing I would tell you truck drivers out there, especially you guys that do a lot of talking, encourage your brother truckers and your sister truckers to get involved. A lot of truck drivers will look up to you. Some are followers, some are leaders. There's nothing wrong with being both. Okay? Encourage your brothers and your sisters and everybody that has a tractor trailer, anybody that's traveling, to be on the lookout for signs. And if you go on there and you watch these videos and they teach you how to watch for these certain signs, teach it to just pass it on. You learn this stuff and you pass it on to the next guy. You could be saving your own kid's life by advocating for this stuff. Ruth Ann, I think we've really been, and just by the way, when she says TAT, she's talking about Truckers Against Trafficking. Mm-hmm. They have a pretty good sized Facebook page. Go and check them out. Ruth Ann, do we have anything else at all on this?
Like you said, I can go on forever on this, but I'm not going to keep beating the horse. I'm going to, hopefully the drivers will go and take a look at the different information. Send me an email if you want more information on it, and I'll try and help you out that way. Other than that.
And by the way, our email addresses, which are troy@talkcdl.com and ruthann@talkcdl.com. Please keep the pictures and the videos and all the suggestions. We got a bunch of interviews coming up. If you want to come on the show and you're in trucking, get a hold of us. And also, if you're looking to sponsor Talk CDL and you're trucking related only, please send us an email and we would be glad to look at your product or your trucking company. And it's very, 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 very cheap advertising on Talk CDL, Ruth Ann. We're cheap. Cheap. All right. Anyways. All right. That's it. Do we have anything else?
That's it.
All right, we're out of here.
Peace.
Praise the Lord.